Hello, everybody. Happy Monday and happy May to everybody. Today, we are going to be doing a few things. We're going to be talking about the May, June, the next 2 months lighting challenge. We're going to announce the winner for the April lighting challenge and talk about a couple other little things. So for starters, we've got this incredible animation. Let me do the full breakdown animation of this. This was came out of a connection from one of our students. Kat put me in connection with Eddie, who runs a school, you can see here, called the Griffin Academy of Animation. And his student, Veronica, put together this incredible robot fight scene. And we collaborated, so they wanted to see some final lighting on it. And so that's what this lighting challenge is. Like I said, normally our challenges are for 1 month, but for animation stuff, we generally give 2 because for a few reasons. 1, the level of difficulty is higher. 2, the render times. This is a 300 frame shot, so we want to make sure to give you guys time to render it. As I was saying before we started recording, if anyone does not have time or the computer capabilities, because we know you are all working on your personal devices to make this happen, we will certainly accept a handful of stills in lieu of a total final animation, or low res, or rendered on every 4th frame, or whatever the case may be. We also, this is the first time that we're collaborating with them, so we wanted to make sure we knew that there were going to be some growing pains as we figure things out, because as we were saying, animators don't always set things up with the idea. Like Veronica didn't know this was going to be lit eventually, so like the Alembic file that we have up there right now, we discovered that the UVs got hosed somewhere in the process, so we're in the process of restoring those. So if you have signed up for this already, be on the lookout. We'll message you guys once we have that all restored. But you can at least get in and start to play around with it a little bit. And then even when the UVs are restored, the environment doesn't have robust shaders or shaders of any kind, really. I think the characters have some. So we wanted to give some extra time to flesh all that out and allow you guys to do your thing. So if you have signed up for our asset library previously, you can still access the file there the same way that you always have. If this is your first time, if you haven't purchased the asset bundle before, you can find the asset over here. It's in our new marketplace. There's a link. So let me just go to our regular homepage, academyofanimatedart.com. And you can see up here at the top, oh, weird. Oh, marketplace. There it is. Haha. Jasmine switched it up on me. You can get to our marketplace here. We've got everything listed. We are now selling all the assets individually as opposed to a bundle. But like I said, if you bought the bundle before, you've been grandfathered in, so you'll get all the lighting challenge assets as they come up. So all you got to do is you click the asset. You would see a message us button here. You click that, send us a quick message. I'll send you the download link, and you are all good. Note that I am sending those manually, so if it's like late at night, I probably won't get it until the next morning. So just a heads up on that. Okay, let's talk about the lighting challenge that we currently had. So this is our the girl and the robot, my robot buddy, as we were calling it. So many good submissions. As I always say, you guys blow me away every single month with this stuff. I also I'm always surprised at the challenges of each one of these. And when we were creating this scene, I thought like the challenge would be the window and the reflections. I thought the challenge would be like getting them to read the exterior versus the interior light. All that stuff was there, but the one that really surprised me was getting the read of the robot's eye and really making that feel right and how important that was to the scene. We built the geometry so it was kind of eye-like, but then really kind of getting that in place was really good. Abhishek did this great. Actually, Jeff was the first one to kind of introduce this idea of adding gobo lights to the foreground when we're looking in from the outside, and it just does a really, really brilliant job of helping us zero in. So Abhishek took that and really ran with it and did a really good job there. Alfredo had this really great color scheme. Andre, I love the Christmas light scene that you had set up here. We're getting a lot better pockets of light, and it led to a really great conversation about what Christmas means to different people in different climates around the world. I still think about that all the time. Daniel had this really beautiful setup Dinesh, very colorful. They're just so like, I'll go through these a little bit more. Jordan did a really moody piece here. Juan, always great submissions, did a couple great examples here. Nathan was really nice. Otamen, Ruby, you came out. I think this is one of your first projects, right, that you've done, and the improvement that you made over the time period was incredible. And you've got a really strong piece here at the end. And Thomas had this really beautiful setup as well. So I do want to announce the winner, and then we'll kind of go through everyone's individually a little bit more. So as always, this was really difficult. We were talking about getting all three of these kind of major elements to fall in place: the interior, the interior, the exterior, the robot's metal, and the girl to all kind of work together. We were looking at the robot's eyes. We were looking at getting the character's shaping and all that stuff. So I do. After much back and forth, Jasmine and I are going to declare that Thomas here is our winner of our April Lighting Challenge. So claps all around to Thomas. This looks great. It's really beautiful. We thought it was. The reason why we chose it is we thought it was we thought it was very cohesive. We thought it really functioned well as one submission. We thought the scene worked together. We thought all the shaders and all the values and everything were really well balanced. We thought the solution was for the eye was both eye-like and robot-like. It was creative. It looks like a headlight. It looks a little bit different than anything that we had anticipated. I thought the reflection of the exterior on this eye was really cool. Balancing that with the very organic shapes of the girl was nice. His red colors reading through. Everything, like, I love the softness on this wall. I thought that looked really beautiful. And just kind of like the overall look of it just felt really nice, and because of that, we've declared you the winner. Now, that does not mean because there were so many other great examples from this. A couple of very close selections. We thought yours was really strong. Actually, both of your submissions were really strong. The one thing that we really wanted this one I thought was really good, but we wanted to see a little bit, there's a touch of the influence of the outside on them, and we thought that we could have played with the values a little bit more on that, like a little bit darker outside, a little bit brighter inside, kind of like uniformly they're a little bit similar. Additionally, we thought the eyes of the robot, if the eye whites could have gone a little bit brighter, that would have been a much punchier look and a more connection. But I love the kind of human-y eyes that you added to this, and as always, your values are spot on in terms of like the shaping, I should say. It's just a matter of pushing and pulling those characters forward a little bit would have really helped. And same thing with the exterior one. Like I said, Ruby, we thought you did a really great job for your first challenge. This was incredible. The progress that you made over the course of this was really spectacular. And you've got all the basic components there. It's just a matter of building on the skill sets that you've already developed. Let's see. Rio, we thought this was really good. The lightning outside is a lot of fun. The one thing that I really wanted to see was more of a connection between this light and what was going on in the scene. It was all about the cool light, and we would have liked to see a little bit more play up in the warmth of that. Because we're just kind of getting like a universal rim around him, and we wanted to see a little bit more of that warmth in there. This was, like I said, lots of progress on this. We would love to see a little bit more of that gobo out here. The darkness on the inside is working well, and then I think we could pop the characters a little more, push a little bit more brightness on them. Otamen, this is really glowy. This is really pretty. The one thing that we were noticing was that this color matching the sky color almost looks like we're looking right through the robot, and there was something that was throwing off our read because of that. And so we would have you kind of mix that up a little bit, maybe add some reflections to the window, and then we would say darken the inside of this a little bit more too, so it's really more silhouetted against the background. Nathan, this is looking this is a good start. Adding an environment out there would be really helpful. Pushing the camera in a little bit more because we've got a lot of dead space over here. And then like watching out for her fill value on her skin. It's getting a little green in there, just making sure she's staying nice and warm. And then for the eye, just kind of like we were kind of talking about, getting that to tie into the environment a little bit more. And also it's not allowing us to make as much of a connection to our characters as we would generally hope. Jordan, we thought this was really beautiful and really soft. We think that the eyes are looking really good. The dings can go a little bit warmer. It was, I also just think maybe a little bit more, because the light is hitting the curtains here. It's hard to describe it. Like I want to turn the lights off in the room and put a light on a curtain, because it would be a little bit more subsurface in there. It would be a little more richness in that texture, and I think that would play up really well. But you've got so much goodness going on. Also, there's like a little bit of a hard line reflection right there, and I think having like a little bit of that, and because you've got a good bit of that red in there now, and I think that worked out really well. I think the eyes are looking good. It maybe too just like a little bit of like a bounce kick on her underside there as well. Jason, I think did we talk about this already? Oh, I guess. Let me see. I may have gotten those mixed up. Let me go back and take a look at that again. In a gem, we've got. I like the darkness around the outside here. The inside. I think that's working really well. I think we're really reading this bounce light up in there. Outside, it's not quite like it feels like an image out there. Like I'm not really getting a good sense of depth. Also, it'd probably be a little bit out of focus out there, and then it's causing some issues like along the back of her here. Like I love the way the light's falling across her front side. I love how like some of this is getting a little bit bright, but if you look like at the back of her neck here, there's a weird bit of light coming through there. Also, the lighting on the robot is kind of wrapping around him a little bit too strongly. I would like for that to be a little bit more rim-like, and then this to kind of fall a little bit darker there. Right, Dinesh. Her skin looks a little gummy, like a little gummy berry, like it's a little too subsurfacey. And then for the robot, I like the blue highlight here, but again, like his eyes aren't really allowing us to make too much of a connection. This looks really nice over here. I like these Christmas lights, and the lamp I think looks really good. I do think we can go brighter on the core of the lamp out here. Like that would kind of be shining through a little bit more. Actually, it might even be down here. I'd have to look at reference on that. But basically, the light source would be a little stronger there. Yeah, those would be the biggest ones. And then also just like tying in the color of the outside into the characters a little more, because that feels like it feels very colorful outside, but the light inside feels a little bit neutralized. Daniel, this was really pretty. The one thing that was giving me pause in this one was the color of this light feels a little too saturated yellow, and also again we're not really seeing its influence on the scene. Also, it's just kind of, it feels like it's pasted on top, and I don't get a good sense that there's a light bulb, like a bright bulb right there shining that stuff out. So I think it's a little too saturated. I think the bulb could go brighter, and I think we could see a little bit more of the influence in the surroundings. But like, this is the water droplets on the window are really pretty. They're a little big, but other than that, they're really pretty. The shaping across here is nice. The color is really nice. Lots of goodness to go on here. Andre, I think we've got the Christmas lights are getting in a better place. I still think we can probably go a little darker between them. The eyes have gone pretty bright. I think it might be too bright overall on the outside here, because we're kind of just like clipping out allowed in that range. And then like we probably go like this triangle in here could go a little darker. I'm wondering if we couldn't also put a little more saturation on the light outside the window to make it feel a little bluer, like a little more nightly. I don't know if that's how you would say that, but like a little more nighttime-ish. And then watch out, there's like some sharp shadows creeping around here that we want to watch out for. And Alfredo, yeah. So we talked a lot about this one and getting the balance of the interior and the exterior. By the way, whenever I'm recording is when fire trucks start rolling by. It's like 100% of the time. and we get so like it's a good balance between these two. We were messing with the key to fill ratio, and I think that's working well. Removing this carpet down here, the rug at the bottom really helped because now we don't have that like super brightness down there. But I do think that we're missing some of the softness that we were seeing from the original reference, and I would like to really kind of bring that in because I thought that worked out well. So again, it was much more about silhouetting the characters and kind of softening up the overall look. And then Abhishek, I thought this was really great with the gobo. Again, I think that worked out really well. Flowers feel a little bit on the saturated side. I would pull those back a little bit. We could probably go. We were messing with the interior values a little bit, and I think overall it might be a little bright in there, but I know we were pushing and pulling and adding more bounce light and that kind of thing. So I think the overall value can come down a little bit, and I think a little bit more bounce light can get pushed in. So it's like its overall value comes down, but there's just more variation and difference from top to bottom. It looks like we got some ambient occlusion going down back there, which is cool, but in these corners, it's getting pretty dark. I think to pull back a little bit on the corners a little bit would be good. And then the robot material looks really good. I think that her skin might be a little saturated there. Like looking at how kind of desaturated we are. So it's like a saturation balance issue across the board. So I think the window panes and the brick are desaturated. The flowers are more saturated. Her face and shirt are more saturated. The robot's metal is a little desaturated. So it's all about like kind of bringing that together a little bit. And for me, maybe it's just me, but I like the desaturated values a little bit more. So I would pull back the saturation on her skin, her shirt, and these flowers, and it really kind of helps balancing it all together. But once again, congratulations, Thomas. I think this looks really great. I do want to take a quick look here, because like I said, I had two things saved out as the same, one from Jason and one from Ragabed. So give me just 1 second to just take a look at that, where we went wrong there. Right. Yes. Okay. Cool. They were side by side, and I erred that, and I saved them out incorrectly. I'll save this in just a second. Okay. So with this one, I think we've lost the redness on the character, and I think we can go back to getting this pure color. I think we've got a lot more softness here, which is working out well. There's some shaping that's coming across here. I like the window light. Some of the transmission is now coming through the window. But the biggest things to work on is make sure we're hitting his red color and bringing that back. For her, she looks a little squishy in her shader, so I think it's more about getting a little bit of a stronger rim light, a little less of the bounce light kind of shining through, and just like allowing that light to fall off a little more as we go across her. Because like this amount of light that would hit her face, you'd also see it on her chest and the cup and her legs and stuff. So I think it's about pushing and pulling that a little bit. Yeah, and I know, and just if you want, I would say for this one, because for the students, you guys can keep submitting this stuff for as long as you want. It's just, like, this is the end of the challenge, but we want to make sure this is good for your reel. So if you want to render out each one of these lights separately and send them over for if you want to continue working on this, we can kind of take a look, because there's a little bit of a balance shift, and I kind of want to see how each light is contributing to the scene. So if you could send that along, and then we can open it up in Nuke and play around with the values a little bit from there. But that is it for that. Okay, so congratulations again, Thomas. We will be reaching out to you, congratulate you individually, but really, really great job here. Does anybody have any questions about the challenge or anything at all before we break for the day? Do we want to clap one more time and say, yay, good job, all right. All right, cool. All right, well, that is all for today. For the students, I am going to be pretty much hopping directly over into our lighting critique for the day. For everyone else, enjoy your Monday, enjoy your week. Like I said, we'll have some updates on the lighting challenge once we get those UVs sorted out. And thank you for those of you that identified that. It was something, I apologize, I missed it in my vetting process. I opened it, we had a bunch of textures, it looked like everything was cool. I was so focused on everything else, I totally missed the UV set. So thank you guys for identifying that to us. And we'll get you guys that fixed soon. So enjoy the rest of your day. Students, I'll see you over in the critique. Everybody else, enjoy your Monday. All right, happy lighting, everybody.